Leafs talk. JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. Leafs and Jets, buddy. Just always deliver. Truly like a rare always win for these two teams when they face off, but massive 2 points for the Toronto Maple Leafs, man. It was like, I don't know about you, but I felt it just hanging in the air when they were down 3-2. They tie it up, they win it in overtime, and all of a sudden I think you can call the road trip minus losing to Marner and blowing those leads. You know, you can get away with that. You can get away with 5 points.
Yeah. So the first thing, I think Jets Leafs in Winnipeg is one of the premier games every single year. That the crowd's greased up, ton of Leaf fans. It's obviously the Jets. This is we talk about Vancouver Super Bowl night.
Yeah.
This is their Super Bowl night. This is a big night for those Jets fans. There's all those loudmouth Leaf fans coming in there.
Yeah.
And you're up 2 in the third period. And for me, it felt like a group that knew they were desperate and they knew they needed these points to kind of make it a successful road trip. And they really turned it on in the third period. And we said on Monday on Real Kipper and Born, Kipper's like, if they get 5 of 8 on this trip, it's a successful trip. He said those words. So I guess according to Mr. Negative Nancy Kipper, this is a successful trip. Getting those 2 points is huge. What a fabulous finish to that hockey game. Awesome game.
Truly great. So let's get into it a little bit here because, yeah, man, I texted you during the first period. I actually thought that they were going to lay an egg. Jets came out with a ton of energy. They had their crowd behind them. Leafs looked totally flat. And over the course of this game, how many times did you think that the Jets scored a goal that they didn't score? Because it started in the first period.
Yeah, multiple times where they missed some capital B bunnies in this game. There was the Kyle Connor one backdoor that I'd like. He usually scores that with his eyes closed. We can talk about the one late in the third on the power play where Taves bangs it off the post. Like there was multiple ones where Simmer even was like, wow, we're waiting for the horn here. And I'm like, I'm waiting for the horn too, Simmer. Like, when's it going to come? And it just never honked. Never honked.
No, guys, the Taves one late.
Can't believe that's out of the net. Still
I
can't believe
saw it go in with my own 2 eyes live.
I seen it.
And then they replayed it and I went, nah, this is actually the Matrix now that I got bamboozled on this. Like
Men in Black stick.
Yeah, Men in Black stick. Something happened weird in the universe because I watched that puck go in the net and then they show replays and it hits 2 posts. But it was just total survival mode for the Leafs early in this game, man. And I actually thought that we were going to be kind of coming on here and hammering them, going, yeah, all right, anybody that wants to make this team is tired on a West Coast road trip excuse, everybody's playing a ton of games. And the Winnipeg Jets are also playing for their lives. So I wasn't really going to have that. And then kudos to the Leafs because it really did feel like they were just able to survive that period, not go down in a huge hole. They responded with timely goals. And I'm with you, man. This was a gritty win for them. They really dug in, showed some character in this win. Like, I think if you're a Leafs fan, you're pretty proud of the second and the third periods of this hockey game, especially down 3-1 in the third and like feeling like the game was slipping away.
Definitely.
God, that's just a good win.
Yeah, Hildeby, I thought was really good in the first.
Same.
I thought that he was across from one of the best goalies, well, maybe the best goalie on earth when he's on his game. And I thought he played pretty well. And I thought in the first, he kind of held them in there and, had them going into that second period was still a chance to win this game. Could have gone really south really early for them. And I think I texted you, like, I wasn't excusing it, but for me, it looked like a group that was tired. That looks like they've been on the road a long time, but I mean, they're professional athletes. They're all paid millions of dollars, be in tip-top shape. I'm not excusing it, but I thought that that's what they look like, but they really started to find their legs. And I think everybody collectively watching this game, as soon as they score that third goal in the third period to make it 3-1, that was at the start of the third period, right? To make it 3-1 for the Jets. You're like, wow, this is going to be a tough pill to swallow for this team that's going home with a 3 of a possible 8 points after that fabulous win on Monday against Colorado. We were all horned up about it. It's just going to be like a negative conversation. And like you said, give them credit. They dug in. Specifically, I thought, Matthews' line in general was fantastic. And if I'm going to point out kind of some players that I thought were really good, I can't tell you how good Oliver Ekman-Larsson was tonight. Like, I know the stat sheet as he stuffed it. Goal, assist. Did he get an assist on the overtime winner? No, he wasn't out there for the overtime one. Anyways, I think you ended up +4 tonight, but I thought the calming influence that he had in the third period, and also on a wonderful half clapper top corner over a goalie that's playing really, really well. Yeah, he did. So he ended up with 3 points tonight. That's his offensive pedigree that I've talked about with you a lot of times, that it doesn't show up all the time, but when he needs it, he can hammer one home. Great shot on the one that get the tying goal there. I just thought he was outstanding tonight, and specifically in the third period, I thought he was a beautiful calming influence. I thought he was excellent game.
I'm really glad that you brought him up. He was spectacular tonight. I don't really
belt worthy for sure.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to add to it. I will go back to the Matthews thing though, because so we said it. They survive the first period. Somehow it's still zeros. And then the second starts and it's Carlo with a bad trip, right? He falls down on the ice. He swings his stick, gets caught up. You think the penalty kills handle it, but then the Jets score late in the power play.
Mm-hmm. Then I think Jets, it was right after the power play ended. But yeah, it was right there.
It was at the end?
Yeah. Okay. I don't think they went 0 for 2 on the 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. And it looked like it was 2 for 2 because both their goals came right at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that the first one for sure was still a power play goal. But then, you get the 2-0 goal, which is O'Connor just walking down, picking the top corner. Beautiful goal. Tough one for Stetcher. He loses a battle there, and then McCabe's kind of stuck.
Tough one for McCabe because it's just that's a split-second decision. You're like, maybe he's going to pass, and then I know Hildeby was pretty good tonight, but dude, you're 6'7". That's one of the best players in tight in the world. You give him half the net to shoot it, and he's going to shoot it in the net. Still a great goal, but that reverse VH sometimes drives me crazy with these guys are the elite of the elite snipers. Kyle Connor's going to shoot it in that net, but whatever. It is what it is. Continue.
Yeah, well, all I was going to say is, to your point about Matthews, I really did think that he was spectacular again tonight. Just, I don't know when it was, but it was right when he started to turn the corner. You just mentioned how he's starting to look dangerous every shift again.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between the Austin Matthews that we saw earlier in the season versus the guy that we're seeing now, where he just has a presence, man. And he finds the back of the net. Really good play, really nice pass by Max Domi to find him in the slot, but he just rips it home. How long was this after Winnipeg scored a goal?
Couldn't have been much more than 30 seconds. It was right there. It was
right away.
Yeah, which was huge. And I wrote down in my notes that is a huge response goal from the captain of your team when you needed it badly. Less than 30 seconds. And that's vintage. I don't know. They lose one of the best snipers in the world, let them walk down the slot. But at the start of this year, that was straight into the pillows. That was not off the post and in, beating him, staring him down. So yeah, he just looks so dangerous. 5 more shots on goal tonight. I don't know how many attempts, but he just had the puck the whole night.
Yeah. And just scary. There's, I think 30 seconds left in the game and Matthews is buzzing, humming around the net. I can't remember who centered it for him. I think it might have actually been McMahon. And it's he's right there on the doorstep. And again, another goal in this one, or a non-goal in this one that I thought was in the back of the net. But yeah, so they score that goal and then they get 2 power play opportunities, both of which, if I'm going to do a little bit of negative talk in this game, power play looks like it's going back to the old power play where they're not
is poo-poo.
Yeah. It ain't pretty. But would you agree? It's just a lot of perimeter. And then once they lose the zone, they just can't get it back and set up and really do much. And now we're kind of, okay, I'm not trying to be so sour about this, but I do think Michelli's doing a little too much now all of a sudden.
Emboldened.
Yeah.
He's been emboldened.
He's been very emboldened. It's just he's holding on to the puck a little too long. And I think that Matthews had one moment where he was dangerous, but those 2 power plays, that was it. He had one opportunity where he kind of tried to cut it into the middle. And I think the shot got blocked. Yeah, but outside of that, just kind of nada, and very similar to the ghosty power play from the beginning of the year that got somebody fired.
I don't want to, I don't, it's not a negative night. I think there can be a lot of conversations about some of the elements of it, but I'm not sure why they decided to go to 91 back on the top unit over putting Nyes back up there. I think that's a move where it's even harder to have a conversation with him when they've already don't have Nylander, or they're like, okay, you're not even the second guy up here that we're going to put on there when there's somebody injured. but I can't tell you how many times the play died on his stick on these power plays where he just kind of loses a battle on the boards, where he's trying to make a pass and he's just slow decision making. And it's a horrible conversation to have on a night that they won, but like, it really doesn't feel like it's good having him out there, and they should probably go to Knies. They probably won't, but it feels like a lot of plays die on his stick. Unfortunately, that's how I feel watching it.
Listen, man, you know me, I'm reluctant to criticize Tavares, and I will just admit that I'm not impartial with this guy, the way that he left money on the table and played during the first stretch of the season.
Yeah.
And I am a little sick of the idea that he gets blamed for everything. And for a while when the power play was struggling, that was one of the narratives. And I didn't really feel like it was fair because everybody was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what about the power play was looking good? And so when people started to do the like, well, take Tavares off the power play, I went, you want him to sacrifice the captaincy, the dollars, and the power play time?
Yeah. I know.
What else are you going to take from this man? Like, you get
gonna
go to his house?
Smoothies?
Yeah, start taking his furniture. Like,
smoothie.
It's just let him have something.
Yeah.
But tonight, I'm with you on it.
Yeah.
It was too many times, and it did look a little rough. And I actually thought that he had a few really good shifts tonight, but lately he does look like a guy who's desperate for the Olympic break. I cannot wait for us to come back after the Olympics and Tavares get red hot for 2 weeks. You heard it here.
That is a lock of the century. He's going to be crushing every sort of like junk science thing for 3 straight weeks. Only kale.
The new amulet, whatever that is, he's going to find it.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and he is going to come back a specimen. That's a lock.
Okay, I'm going to go one more negative, though, here quickly.
Okay,
because at that point, they can't get one. It's 2-1. They go into the third. I thought, again, overall 5-on-5, Leafs were good. Like, they drew those penalties. The second penalty was one that Knies drew, which was just a bulldog play where they had no choice. It actually reminded me a little bit of the end of the Buffalo Bills game where receiver gets wide open and you got no shot but other than to just flail and grab and hope the referee doesn't call anything. And that was Knies on that one. But they start the third.
As long as you're not wearing a Broncos jersey at the end of regulation, you can commit pass. They'll call pass interference, but they won't call it the obvious one on Riley Moss, who leads the league in them all year.
I do like that you're a real Bills fan now, though.
Like it's crazy. It's a horribly officiated game. Yeah. Don't get me wrong here. Like I want to stick to this. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have any Bills fan PTSD because there's a lot of crossover, but that was an affront to the sport today. It was a joke. It was an absolute joke.
So
it was a catch all day.
To start the third.
Yeah.
I actually think Riley has been playing much better lately. You would agree?
I would agree that there's been more ups than downs. Sure.
Yeah, same. Yeah. But if you could say the signature oh no moment of any Leafs game, it's exactly the third goal of the game.
Yes. Where he can't box out and it just like guy bangs it home.
His stick's in the air. He's desperately trying to move somebody from in front of the net. He cannot do it. And that guy shovels it into the net. And if you want to go through how is Morgan Riley on the ice for the most goals against 5-on-5 of any defenseman this season?
There's your mixtape.
That's it. That's the play. That is the number one oh no play of it's just
brutal.
It really is. As soon as you see it, it's oh no.
Yeah. And also it's malpractice at this point for the coach. Chief, you got to stop playing 51 and 44 together. Like, what are you doing? Especially like it just every shift. I don't know what Myers finished tonight, but I think he had to be -2 or -3. So I just quickly look at it here. But it's just every shift with this guy. And then when you put him out there with Riley, what's the opposite of chemistry? That's what they have. -2 for Myers tonight. I can't believe they keep doing it. Like, and I know it's like Benning or whatever. Just bring up Thunderstruck again. Anyone else? Yeah. Like, I can't keep doing this. They can't keep doing this.
Speaking of mixtapes, you could do a mixtape of just us talking about Philippe Myers.
I know. Derogatory. 918. That's right.
But how many times have we just said a combination of why do they keep trying him? He can't play anymore. He's not an AHL defenseman. He's killing him out there. He's dashed whatever.
55 times so far this season on our various shows.
It's painful because you're right to bring it up. And I don't disagree. It's just, I don't know how they're watching it and saying, give it another go. You know, just
Again.
yeah,
It's
like
miracle on ice. Again.
you know what it would look like if you and I were part of the coaching staff? Remember during the horrible Amazon series when we had, oh God, who was the goalie coach at the time?
Was it? No, I know. Was it Francois Allaire? No.
Yeah, it was Allaire. No, it
was it
Allaire.
Allaire?
Yes, it was still Allaire. And Allaire is trying to defend the goaltending. And Keefe is just losing his mind watching.
Can we get a save on a tip?
Yeah, I need to know who the guy is on the coaching staff that's doing the like defensive Myers every game where he's like, well, yeah, he's -2.
It's got to be the head coach.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no other option because there's no way he's like, yeah, Newsy, we're going to keep running with this. This has to be the head coach's decision.
Yeah, back into the good. Oh, wait, you got a quick thing before we go into how they won this game?
Yeah, I just thought Robertson was competitive tonight.
This gets into that goal.
Only plays 12 something tonight again, but I guess that third line's kind of playing as a third line. But I mean, he makes a great pass on this. It's just stops up, sees it right on the tape, in stride, great shot. But even outside of this, I just think he's been. It's good to have him back. Like it's crazy to say that in that Utah game, I guess everybody stunk, but you felt him not being there. It's crazy how far he's come with this and just being a contributing part of this team where we don't have to have the conversations anymore about should he be in the lineup? Should he be he just plays in the third line, plays between 12 and 14 minutes, and he contributes a lot of good stuff. So good for him. I thought he was good again tonight.
Yeah. Heady play.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think a year ago, he's busting down the wing and he's taking a horrible angle shot.
Forces it. Totally.
And instead, it's maturity, it's the stop up, and it's seeing your teammate and having the confidence to make that play. I want to say, too, it's a good pass by Easton Cowan breaking it out before that, too.
Yep.
Like, it's two really good passes on that play, and then Waugh finishes it. And again, this is one of the just stories of this team's season as they've turned it around. Like, as good as Matthews was tonight, they just didn't need him to be the only guy. Yeah. And it didn't feel like he was exhausted giving them that effort because they got that secondary scoring. And then boom, they get the third goal, the game tying goal. Just, nice little play off the draw. We kind of went over it already with OEL throwing to the net. So McMahon got credited with that goal, eh? Yeah,
that was a weird one. I thought it might have just been straight in all of Rekman Larson.
Same. I will admit that I was kind of watching football at the same time this was happening. And
okay.
I just never really saw an angle until now where I went, okay, that's definitively McMahon's goal.
They gave it to McMahon. It must have just ticked off his stick a little bit. I watched it a few times. It was pretty. I just love that guy in the crowd, just been eating it from Jets fans all night. And that just the double, just so thankful that happened. The last thing I have to say is that, again, Lawton talk, but Lawton and Lorentz on the penalty kill are a absolute buzzsaw. Those two guys are just competitive, flying around, making good reads. Like they're a huge reason why it's one of the best units in the league in terms of percentage. They just make such great reads. There's a play that it kind of came backdoor where Hildeby made a great play in the third period, and he just was right, Johnny on the spot, cleared it out. I love Lawton and him going nose to nose with Velarde for snapping his head back, like obvious embellishment from Velarde. And him just getting right in there, and then Taves going after him, and him just not backing down. They've needed this fire for so long, and it just does the little things. When you've talked about intangibles, this is what they've lacked, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
So
look at this head snap back.
The Robertson play was, to me, the play of the game.
Yeah.
The Lawton getting pissed off, John at Velarde, and then the Leafs killing that penalty was my favorite moment of the game.
He's incensed.
Yeah.
He's incensed.
And again, this really was a penalty kill that should have given up a goal. Like,
yep, definitely.
To my eyes, did give up a goal.
In the net, correct.
But they didn't, so they get credit for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the fact that he just wouldn't let it go, that it wasn't just a little chirp, it wasn't just one little thing, doesn't give him the diver look, just in his grill, giving him the what for was electric. And you're so right. We've been dying for exactly this. It's the toughness that extends throughout your lineup that isn't just about fighting. It's about sticking up for each other in those kind of moments. And I thought that he's taken the pressure off of Matthew Nyes, who did let the stick go a little recklly, right? Like that's a penalty. It's an embellishment. He taps his visor with his stick.
It should be 2-2.
Sure. I'll agree with that. I'm just saying you can't say it's not a penalty. He taps him in the face with his stick.
But he's eligible to be hammered for a minute straight about it.
I agree. And I'm just saying that I think that took some pressure off of Nyes, who's probably sitting there feeling pretty sheepish about it, that his teammate is out there sticking up for him, basically making it like, hey, you didn't screw up. This guy is, pick your word that we can't use.
What about Taves? It's not quite Phillip Rivers out there, but it's very weird. It's very weird that he's just back. I thought he was actually
a bunch of their games, so
but I thought he was. I know, but I thought he was actually very good tonight and was threatening and actually had a few chances and looks pretty good on the power. Like kind of looks like Jonathan Taves all of a sudden, and I just it's just weird. It's weird to see him. Like I thought he was just out of our lives, you know. And just to see him out there again, looking like Jonathan Taves is kind of it's a bit of a trip. That's all I got.
What I thought about that is there's an alternate reality where he's a Leaf and there's no Lawton.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of when they were like, because at first everybody thought he was getting in Taves' face. And I went, really? I guess Lawton has the stripes to be doing that, but not something that you'd really expect. And then gets revealed that it's Velarde that he's going after, and he's trying to play he's trying to basically break it up. But yeah man, it's just I think he looks great. But I definitely thought about the alternate reality where people were really hoping that he was going to be a Leaf, and there was a couple of reports that were, hey, it's the Jets or the Leafs, and he's actually interested in the Leafs.
Tree kick tires? No way.
Yeah, I know Tree, the tire kicker.
No way. Kicking tires. He's the pit crew.
Yeah, and then the overtime goal. That's it. Awesome. I think that's the only thing we haven't covered.
That's good. It was just beautiful sauce. And they've we talked about it last time against Vegas, how many points they've wasted in overtime. And this is just clinical stuff. And you think like maybe he's going to shoot right on the tape. Hellebuck, no chance. And just a fantastic celly by both of those guys.
They're pumped.
Just fired up, pumped, needed it. And look at all those happy Leaf fans just get to hit the bars tonight. I'm sure it's like minus 38 in Winnipeg tonight. You know, they call that Manitoba summer. And look at what's Berube so pissed off. He was MF in the refs. Was that still about the Nyes thing?
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
Nice. I think it was about that, exactly that they didn't call embellishment and that they rewarded Velarde for doing the head snap.
I love it, but that's a beautiful pass and just
great pass. Felt like Matthews was on the ice the entire overtime period.
Well, he kind of has to be.
I know, but he really was out there. Yeah, okay. We say he has to be, but then my mentions were 2 days of Matthews dogged it in overtime.
Yeah, I hated that. I told you at the show, it's like, God, guys, you chased down Jack Eichel.
I know.
Like he's been out there for 2 minutes at an NHL level in 3-on-3. It's hard. Hockey's hard.
One of my buddies was like, you just have to put your head down and go. I was like, man,
you do.
The only hope they have is a save there and that it goes the other way and he ends up with a tired breakaway. Like there's nothing that he was going to be able to do. Anyway.
A lot of Leafs talk coming up this week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. 4 more shows coming up for the people.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you then. Subscribe to the podcast, leave 5 stars, reach out anytime on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sam McKee. We'll see you then.